Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I want to go over how to create an load balancer in Amazon Web Services. So I'm going to be creating an application load balancer to distribute the inbound requests um, for a web page. So why would you want to do this? So let's say you have a web page being hosted on multiple servers or multiple instances on the cloud. You don't want your users to go to each URL, to access your website. You want one URL that's going to redirect the traffic to either or, but the users won't see or won't. They don't need to know the different addresses. So as you can see in here, you have web server one and web server two. So I want to create a load balancer that's going to distribute the incoming request to either one of those two servers hosting my web page. So to do this, we need to go into the EC2 service. Then on the left hand side, we want to go to the option for load balancers. Then we want to create a load balancer. There's currently three options, which is the application load balancer, which is the one we're going to be using right now. There's also a network load balancer and a gateway load balancer. So again, application load balancer works on layer 7 for HTTP, HTTPS, and gRPC protocols. Is basically for routing features for static DNS. The network load balancer, it works on layer 4 TCP UDP protocols. You want to use this for high performance for millions of requests that are coming in on your web pages, and it's a static IP through elastic IP. Gateway load balancer you want to use for routing traffic to firewalls that are being managed on your EC2 instances, and it works on layer 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and choose this guy. We're going to click create. We're going to give it a name. So let's name it demo ALB for application load balancer. It's going to be internet facing, IPv4, network mapping. We want to enable it to work on every AZ within the region availability zone. So that's good right here. Choose every single one of them. Now for security groups, we want to create a security group that only allows inbound traffic on port 80 or HTTP. So we're going to create a new inbound rule. So demo security group application load balancer allow HTTP then we want to do an inbound rule. We want to choose HTTP. I just saw it. Okay, and by default it selects port 80 over TCP. The source we want to do anywhere from IPv4. So for now we're going to leave it as like this. Obviously you don't want to do that, but just for this video, just for testing purposes and to show you how it works, we're going to leave it open. So any connection from outside, actually, if you are hosting a public web page, you do want to allow access from any IP from the outside. So this will be fine. Okay, then that's fine. We don't want to mess with this. That's fine. Create security group. So now we know that it's been created. We gave it a name. So now we go back to our load balancer. We refresh over here. Now we should be able to see it. Demo security group ALB. We're going to select that guy. This is fine. So we're going to do protocol HTTP over port 80. We're going to forward that traffic to target groups. So we currently don't have any target groups. This would be the instances that you want to be part of this load balancer, to be managed by this load balancer, if you want to put it that way, I guess. So let's create a new target group. It's going to be for instances. Again, there's different options, but for this video, we're going to keep it as instances. We're going to give it a target group name, demo web SRV ALB. Protocol is going to be HTTP, port 80, IPv4. This is fine. This is fine too. And we'll click next. These are the two instances that I'm currently running. So I'm going to select these two. include as pending below. Now we click next, create target group. So now we come back to our load balancer, we refresh this guy over here. Now we should be able to see it here. So now we pick the target group. And I believe that's all we need for now, just to keep it as simple as possible. So create load balancer. Successfully created load balancer. So now we go back over here. We see that it's provisioning it. It's going to give it a DNS name. So this is the name that your users will use to get to your web pages, instead of having to memorize web server 1, web server 2, or whatever URL names you have for your backend web servers. So this is going to take about a minute or two. So I'm going to pause the video, and then I'll be back when it's done, and I'll show you how to test it. Okay, so we can see the state of it is now active. So let's go ahead and copy the DNS name. Open a new page. We'll go to it. And there we go. So now we see web server 1, so we refresh. Eventually, there you go, server 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So this is basically showing us that the load balancer is routing traffic between both web server 1 and web server 2. Again, I have these names different just to show that it is hitting both different servers. Ideally, you will have just your web page, which doesn't really need to be with web server 1, web server 2 in order to know that it is working. But this is just to show you how the load balancer works. At this point now, you won't have to enter either the IP address or the URL name for either server. You will use the DNS name for the load balancer. So now to look at more information, so now we can see over here that it's active. So if we look at the network mapping, actually resource, here we go, resource map. So it's listening on port 80. There's only one rule that was applied to this load balancer, and what it's doing is going to forward to the target group, and the target group again is going to be my web server 1, web server 2 instance. And then what it does, it takes the HTTP request, and it's going to distribute those requests to port 80 on these two guys, which are my instances that are currently running over here. As you can see, web server 1, web server 2. Again, if you have more servers, web servers, you will add them to the target. But again, this was just a very quick overview, I guess, on how to set up an application load balancer. I hope you like this video. If you have any questions, leave me a comment, leave a like, subscribe. And again, I hope this was helpful. Again, it was just a quick overview on how to set up a elastic load balancer for application load balancer within Amazon Web Services. If you have any questions, again, leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.